to Volcane shutters. Yeah, love it when it works. Oh, I'm a little crooked, huh? I should be over to the left more. Oh, well. So I'm a little off center into one camera. Who cares, right? I, in fact, did not come back yesterday to work on this more, but we're going to probably finish it today. So get some tunes. There we go. I like how you can see my mouth when I'm over the music. It's so dumb. All right. Where were we? Oh, why is it so easy to open to the exact page that you were on with these, man? It's like some kind of a conspiracy theory. All right. G and E. Okay. Right, here's our G's. That's going to be E1 as well. All right, so G1, 9. This guy. Let's see how much of this I can actually keep on the camera today, huh? There's G19. We're going to be back to the G's. We're going to set him like that for now. And then we're going to come over here and grab E, because we need E119, which is the fin. I don't know if that peg... Yeah, it looks like it's trying to tell me do not snip that peg. It's fine, because we did not, in fact, snip that peg. We assumed that with the peg being where the thing was connecting, we just kind of assumed that it didn't want that. All right. 19. Little nub faces that way. This guy goes in there. Right through it. Okay, but it stays loose there. All right. That's going to be wild. Set you up there. Hopefully it won't lose you. Now we need G1, 4 and 3. Right, here's 4. Okay. Let's try to find an angle to cut you from. Snip. 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 All right, there's our 4. We also need the vernier. Little nozzle. Number 3. Boop. 3 goes into 4, like so. You know, for how smooth that felt like that cut, there's a bit of a nub right there. There. Nub be gone. Okay. Then we come back to this concoction, because that little white hook there needs to go into that little guy there. Like so. And then it can swivel. Whee! Whee! Look at all that motion. Alright, that's a good or bad thing, who knows. Alright, let's set you aside. Now we're doing the other side, it looks like. We need a G10, a G5, and a G3. I don't know, maybe that's not the other side. G5, G10, G3. G5. G5. A G10. It's wanting us to put more stickers on too. We'll have to see what kind of color the stickers are. It was caution labels, which I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was, but it's looking like it's going to be a big block or something. I need another 3 as well. Boop. Same thing here. That guy just pushes into that guy. Except for that time he cut out way nicer. Okay, what do you want for stickers on here though? It wants the G8. There you go. That little silver guy right there. And a 19. There's one of those tiny little silver guys there. So I think we can do without that. If I'm being completely honest with you. That's something that we can just paint. Now this peg goes right on there, like that. Yeah, especially this bottom little spot right there, man. We could easily just get in there with a brush and boop. I mean, I could see the argument for the part that's under there, just because it's so much smaller. But the thing that gets me about it is, oh, I see. It's a clear piece with 2 notches. So what that's saying is those 2 little notches there, it wants silver. So it's saying to put an entire sticker piece on there. Well, I mean, it's a big enough sticker. It might be easy enough to do, I suppose. Famous last words, right? Where's my tweezies? Then we could paint over it afterwards. And if we don't paint over it, we don't paint over it. But if we do paint over it, we'll paint over it. But that's nice. That's easy. That's that entire spot right there, just for 2 little lines of silver, which we could probably get with a brush or something, but... The other part, though, we can definitely we can paint this little notch down there on. That's going to be... It's a pain in the balls to do a tiny little piece in there. Be so much easier to just paint it. Alright, so those guys are done, and now we need a G18 and an A3. G18. This guy. G18. And our A3 is all the way back here. A3. These guys up here. Do. And snipper right there. Snippy. Now this one mentioned undergating, right? Yeah, those two little snippables right there. Okay, G18 with all the clunker stuff up top, and then this guy facing that way, and it goes through that, and then latches like that. It doesn't latch at all, honestly. It just sits there and falls out. Okay, so we got to be careful about that part then. Set you over there. Okay, now what do we got? That's our current piece, and we need G16. And hopefully that'll hold this in, I think, is what's going to happen. G16. This big frame up here. Big old arrow frame. I don't know if it's probably not really an arrow frame, but I wanted to say arrow frame for some reason, so I did. And we need G1 as well. Little thrusty cap. G1. G1. Carefully pay attention, it says, to the facing. You want the smooth circle going down. And then this guy's hook goes towards you, like so. And this guy goes in like that. Just like that. Easy peasy. And then this guy goes into this guy like that. And then that way this guy can still open up. But wait, there's more. 091, which is the one with the fin. He also goes in here. He goes in right here. Okay, let's just squeeze him in a little bit just to make my life a little easier. So he goes like that. Okay. And then our other one goes in on the other side. Okay, I'm going to set this down for a minute. I need to pull out my magnifying lens here to look at these instructions. It's trying to tell me whether this piece goes above or below the other notch. I can't really make it out. Okay, even with the magnifying lens, I still can't figure out that. I think it wants it to just go... Maybe it's trying to tell me that it just goes in the hole. Maybe it's not actually trying to be that elaborate with where it goes. It would have to be on top though, because that one extends out. There we go. So then to close up, he would actually have to go up a little bit. There we go. Just like that. And then you would pull the one in the back out. Then you pull the one in the front out. Just a little bit. Finicky. Very bit finicky. Okay. Anyways, we got that in there now. Now it wants a G17 and an A4. There's our G17. And we need our A4 right up here. Set you there for now. You also have the tiny little undergates that need to be snipped. Undergate? Yeah, undergate. I say, am I calling that the right thing? Is that an undersnip? No, undersnip is what you do to it. Okay. And this is the same thing. Claps like that. That was a horrible snip job right there, though. That's grody. We need to file that down some. There. And then this guy just goes on the top of this guy. And everything lines up nicely, supposedly. Whoosh. And I can drop down there like that. Thruster. Okay, now we need an A20 and an A21. A20. And A21. And when I do the Zakus, if I stream putting the Zakus together, I'm probably gonna do that over on Twitch. That way I can listen to some just straight up Spotify. Oh, undergate right there, don't we? Yep. Just that one undergate. Looks like the other side has one as well. Scrub, scrub. There, all gone. This guy also. Oh my goodness! This white plastic is so slippery. Snip. There we go. And then there's going to be a snap sound, it says. There was a little bit of a snap sound there. Okay. This one, you have to come out of there like that before I can snap it in. Oh, it also says to apply an 18 inside of there. What's 18? Another big one. Well, I guess depending on how easy you want to pop out of here. We can do an 18 there. Don't really, because there's 3. Focus. Come on, focus. Right by my knuckle there, you can see those 3 triangular shapes. That's where it wants the sticker to go, but it's a one-piece sticker, so it's not going to go into those holes. It's just going to sit on top of it. So I think I'm actually going to just ignore that, and if we're going to give it color later, we can just paint it in, because otherwise that's going to be real goofy if that part sticks out but the rest of it doesn't. At least it's goofy in my opinion. Alright, then we need a C1. I haven't had to use the C's in a while. C1 right up here. Of course, how much of this is all going to end up getting pulled off just so I can paint it. As much as I hate it, maybe I should just brush paint it. C1 has a plethora of undergating. Good lord. That one just flew off and whacked me. There we go. Just clear up that undergating. We have our C1. We need our D3. That's our G's, not our D's. B3 is yellow, isn't it? D is yellow. Getting close to being through all the yellows. We are. Yellow guy goes in here and matches that line up. Just pushes in nicely. Then this way. Bends over there, so this goes in here. Snap. That's got a little tiny bit of wiggle in it. Almost makes you wonder why it's even... it wants an 11 and a 10 in it. Those silver stickers, yeah, we'll do without that. Kind of makes me wonder why we're putting an 11 and a 10 in there when we then immediately... You don't see that part, man. You'd have to pull this thing out of there to see the back of that yellow. That's just a waste of stickers is what that is. Not that I'm particularly fond of these stickers, but... Because that's the inside of that little yellow piece. Or even if it's the outside of it. Do you see any of that yellow outside of that thing? Like, unless that sticker's on that yellow piece, there's no reason to do anything in there that's yellow. That's goofy. Goofy. Alright, now we're back to our A's for a 13 and a 16. 13 is down here. Also mentions an under gate on this one. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Is that the friggin'... Oh, Lord. A little unnecessary, that undergate right there. I'm sure there's logic behind it. But me not being a manufacturer of plasticky goods, I don't know what it is. 16 looks like another Finny guy. A16. 13. 14. Ah, 16's a yellow guy. Sometimes I'm just kind of confused by the stuff they can and can't do with these things. It's like we can print this stuff off of there in 2 different colors. We can make things that are like removable by hand, but it's all like in one pressing or whatever. But then we're going to tell you to put stickers on a spot that you won't even see. Goofballs. Alright, now this hole right there. A little bit of space there still. There we go. Like, I don't want to push it so hard I break something, but at the same time, you got to push it enough to get it on there, you know? Okay, so we did our snippy snips on these. I don't think I can even get my cleanup guy in there to get that thing cleaned up. Okay. And then you go on there like this, it's telling me. Is that right? That's what it's telling me. But you don't want to go on that way, though. Looks more like it would be like sideways like that or something. Alright. So we're looking at it like this. There we go. I had the angle just a little bit off, I think is where my problem was. Alright, and then we need an A1, which also has undergating. Oh, okay, I see right there. I'm like, I'm having a real hard time finding the undergating on this one. Okay. And then we're like this. And it says our prong goes to the back. And it just slides into that channel right there. And pushes on. Indeed, it does just push right on. All the way down. It doesn't want to go any further down. It seems weird because there's a gap right there. But, I mean, this thing can't go on there any further, so guess that's where it's supposed to be. There we go. Then we got a jetpack. And I can open up like that, and I can open up over here, and I can open up over here. Thrust. And it all just clamps back down. Okay. One Venia done. Stretch. Oh. Okay. We are now at E2 19. E2 19. The only thing. Oh no, there's a little gun piece maybe right there. That, or maybe it's the sword blade, or not blade, sword handle. Okay, so now we need to go back to our G's. This time we're going to be going to our G2s, which have conveniently fallen dead on the floor behind all the other sprues. Come on here, G2. Number 9. This guy down here. And we take our 9, and we take our 2, and we set it in there, and then we set it aside. Then we come back over here, and we get our 2 and 4. 3 and 4, I think, is what that actually is. We need to flip this over in order to get to these guys easier. Snip. 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 There's that one, and then it wants 2. 3. It wants 3. Snip this one off of there because I'm bracing it against my chest. That guy goes in there. Got some little nubbies here and there to scrape up a little, but there. And we come back over to this guy, and you just snap right into that guy there, like so. And we need a 10, 5, and 3. Ten. Three. And a 5. And since I did on the other side, I will put in our sticker 19s. I know I'm super inconsistent with these stickers, but you know. Most of them would be easier, just paint. I mean, honestly, it kind of almost feels like it'd be easier to just paint all this stuff before even assembling it, but then it might kind of be a little bit hard to really know what you're doing with your color scheme. Unless you're just doing like a flat replacement of colors. Like, oh, everything that's white is going to be this. My problem is I would lose track of which part would go where, and then I would never be able to assemble it again. Just still a significant possibility when I go to paint this thing, but we're hoping we're going to have some. There we go. Oop. Let me set you aside. We need a G28. Yep, that one right there. That's right, finger. You found it. Then our friend A panel comes back. We need the A5. This guy. Some people would just probably go through and do both of these things at the same time, but me, that's just asking for me to forget something, and we don't need that, do we? One of you had undergating on you, right? You do. Snip, snip. Soup. Right like that. Then we need to get the G2, 6, and 1. There he is. Mainframe. Beep, boop, boop. I'm a computer. And our little friend 1. Okay, our little friend 1 had a rather spongy snip on him, so he's definitely going to need a little bit of sandy sand. And there. There, that's better. Oop, just like that. Little jet is in the bottom of that. Pick this guy back up. Let's see. Is it going to be prong forward? It's going to be prong forward. Okay. There it is. That's where it goes. And then we need G10, which is this one. You get to go in there first this time. Why are you being so rude there, guy, huh? There. Being a little bit of a jerk. And this guy gets to go in next. There we go. Those are both in there nicely. Set you there. Now we need a G27 and an A6. Whoop. Whoop. And a big boop right there. That's an A6. Alright, A6 has some under snips, cut things. Snip, snip. That's good. That's good. Thread him in like so. Slots right there. Come back over to you. This entire thing just nice and casually pushes itself together. Just like that. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, what's next is A21, A20. It wants us to put the stickers on, but we're not gonna, because it's gonna stick out there instead of being a nice kind of inside thing like it should be. So you guys got undercut somewhere, right? Yeah, there it is. Okay. We've got the one with the wing. Need a little bit more space so we can get that wing through there. There we go. Get your wang through. Well, that didn't sound very PC, Ken. There we go. Once again, we kind of have that little dong crocodile face showing up again. Crocodile. Ooh. All right, then we need a D1 and a C1. C1's right here. Almost through this entire sprue right here. And we need our C1. We're also almost through that entire sprue. You have 2 undercuts on you, correct? 3 undercuts. Each side. And 1 at the tip. Then the shape. Oop. Oh, these white pieces are going to be the enemy. Where'd he go? We got to go find him. Oh, no we don't, because he's right here. He didn't actually fall, he just hid. Jerk. Almost made me have to reorientate myself. The nerve. That guy goes right there. Didn't get a satisfying click out of it that time though. Okay, A13 and A16. We already know 16's up here. That's the last of the A yellows. $13? 13. $13 has undergates. Tiny, annoying little undergates that you can't even really get your hands into with any of your tools. Alright, that's the best we can do right there. Let's do a little cleanup on our yellow guy here. Just because I know there was some awkward snips on him. And then that goes there. That goes there. There we go. That's there. This guy goes right in here. That's him being as snug as he's going to be. I still kind of hate it though because there's a space there, but there needs to be the space there technically because when you open these up it goes into that space. So still, it's just I see that space and I'm like, ugh, I forgot something, but I didn't. Alright, we need another A1. Mayor of New York, A number 1. Little Escape from New York, anybody? Oh, Kurt frickin' Russell. Nate Plissken. Oh yeah. Slide path goes on there. And then we push. Boom. Oh my, that looks... What happened there? Didn't snip that piece out very good. That's what happened there. Alright, fixed. And with that, we're going to lose your little grabby points because these go on there. This one goes right here. Almost would have been easier to get his little jetpacks on without his arms on. Which I guess we can do. He can just pull his arms off. There we go. Yeah, it was way easier to do without the arm on. Need your arm off for a minute, buddy, so you can fully seat your backpack. There. Now you got your big old thruster pack. Well, you look like you're looking up at me. Oh, probably because I don't have your head pushed in all the way because I need to take it off in order to do some painting. Well, I guess, I mean, you know, I should probably show that off, huh? So he's got jetpack. There's Venia packs. All of it can open up, so he can be like in flight mode. So he'd be like, boosting, baby. Now we're going to just sneak this little clampy gator in here. Boop. Now we get this little clampy gator in right there. Boop. There. And then he shouldn't go anywhere because he's nice and secured. Alright, gun time. Let's get the A's. Over there. Need the F's. Put our G's back there. We need... Oh, I just did that, and then right there, A25 right off the bat. Stupid. I think the only thing that's left on the A's? I think it is. I think we've got ourselves a clear runner. Sprue be gone. Let's check. Everything's clipped out there. Yeah, everything's clipped out. Cool. You can get you right out of the box. You don't gotta harass me no more. Okay, Dober gun. Let's put you part right there while we get to the F26 tube. Big old long barrel. All in one piece too. That's kind of a nice touch. Game Workshop long barrel would usually do the barrel in like part of this, then you would have to put the other part on. Which isn't like the end of the world, but it's a bit of a nuisance. All right, long fin on the bottom lines up with notch here. I guess for now we just slide it all the way forward to get it out of the way. Now we need a F20. Big old receiver block guy. Then our long guy goes right there. Just drops in like that. I set him there. We need an F-23 and an F-22. F-22 is the actual exterior receiver part. What else? F-23. Which is the long lever guy. I assume you're our handle for holding with the hand. That's how you stick out. Either that or a charging handle. Alright, any warnings about undergating? No? Okay. So we take this guy and this orientation. This guy goes here. And then this entire thing here goes in this guy somewhere. Out the back. Like so. That's kind of, I don't know how intentional it is. It's kind of cool that you got like, boo, boo. Got some little actual doper action in there. Oh yeah, let's just push you back some because the picture has it like that. It even shows it. Push forward, push back, push forward, push back. Okay, anyways, before we do that though, it's showing me a picture down here. I think it just wants to make sure I do that. And it wants this guy, this fin like that. And it says to push it forward. So it's in there like that, I guess. Okay. And then we have F-21, just the other half of our receiver. And body in general, really. And then we also need F-27. Every time I keep going to look at these things, I keep holding it upside down like an idiot. This guy down here. And then also F-30. It's just this tiny little dude here. Alright, how are we going to snip you and not throw you? Wait, like that. Drop. Okay. F-27 claims to have undergates. Oh my goodness, yes it does. Let's get those right on off of there. Okay, so there's that guy. 30 just wants to make sure that we have it in the right direction. All this goes into here. So this guy goes in to that little spot there. This guy goes into this spot here. assemble this part later. Well, yeah, because we need the other stuff in there first. Okay. Looks a little loose up top there. There we go. Okay. There's that part. What do we got now? More bits. We got a F25 handle piece. Every single time I grab it upside down. Maybe I'm just becoming Australian and I don't know it. That or a bat. About as blind as a bat. Oh no. F28. Tiny little handle guy down here. Snip you. Snip you. And snip you. Wouldn't be surprised if he needs some cleanup in there. We need a F29 handle grip. Oh, you've got a weird what? Why? If you've connected it at an angle here. Just asking me to somehow make mistakes. It's so rude. Okay. Are you? Yeah, you're mostly all... Could use a little bit of scrubbing on that part right there, though. There, just to make sure. Okay, so F28. Gun handle part goes inwards like that, and it goes there. Whoop. Like that. F29 goes down in this guy. Right there. F27 goes on the other side of this guy. Right there. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Could also be another talking head. Anyways, moving on. F24. See, I like the guns. I like building weapons. They're cool. I mean, in fairness, I kind of enjoyed this entire process so far, but H1. Which sprue is the H? Yellow? No, yellow is D. Oh, you know what? H was the clear one, wasn't it? H for haven't seen it. That's right. Yep. H2. Yeah. Okay. So despite the appearance of this piece, it actually just wants a flat top to it. So it wants to snip down there. It says to put a sticker 5 on there. What does sticker 5 look like? Sticker 5 is a tiny little circle of blue. Yeah, we'll just, no. We can hit that with a paintbrush later and make our lives so much easier. Yeah, because it's just right there. That's definitely a little dab of paint will do. A little dab will do it. Oh, but you got a little undergate right there that I didn't snip off yet. There we go. And then we need G149. Hey G, we're back again, yo. Been a while. Where's 49? Right here. Need to get our ammo magazine in. We do. No undercuts or nothing there, but we're gonna just scoop that one up a little bit. There. That should be good. Alright, ooh, cheeseburgers. I like cheeseburgers. Scope goes right there. Our magazine goes right back here. Alright, respond to this. Okay. We'll go in and have some foods after we're done with this bad boy. I need our shield components. Just the last of our yellow sprue. Or runner. If I'm being honest, I'm not entirely well versed on what the difference between a sprue and a runner is, but might be the same thing for all I know. I use them the same way. Are you done? I mean, kind of. There's the little Mr. Char on there. We'll leave it here. Okay. Triple dots, go to the top. Good. This guy has a little nub right there, goes to the top. Oh, but we also got a little bit of a cleanup job to do right there, mister. There we go. Okay, so the little nub goes to the top. Right like that. Squish him right in there. And then down here, peg goes top. Okay. Right like that. Boom. Shield. But wait, there's more. G1, 2, and G2, 2. 2, 2. I believe these are going to be our little beam saber holders. Which kind of makes more sense than lightsaber in the long run because it is a fire and, you know, beam of energy, not a light sword. Because light wouldn't really be cutting things all that great, but you know. Anyways, G2, you would be so kind as to come here for a moment, buddy. Buddy! So got a bunch of little nubs and stuff there, too. Kind of running out of stuff, though. I wonder what those are for. Okay. So you go there. You go there. You go here. I can fold right in or fold down, however he wants to do it. Alright, and now we need E1, where we will take 17 and 18. Do not snip those little guys. Okay, yep, that's fine. We didn't. And then you go in. Like that, I assume. Is there anything left on this one anymore? Looks like no. Alright, we're done with E1. Oh, let's go and clean up E2, right? So that should be all that's left on E2 now as well. Alright. Gundam. So you're not a Gundam really, Tallgeese. You're in a Gundam show, but you're not really a Gundam. You're just a mobile suit. Although really, I mean, if you were to take a Zaku and build it out of Gundanium, technically the Zaku would become a Gundam, wouldn't it? I mean, isn't that really like the big discerning factor between the Gundam and everything else, is one uses Gundanium? Because I don't really feel like it's the overall power level of the unit that matters, because their Gundam's getting rocked all over the place in 8th MS team. Okay. And that bad boy goes in there. And that bad boy goes in there. It's like if you want to, you can take that out and put it in one of his hands with an F3 hand. F3, F4, F1. I mean, we knew in the long run we were going to be cutting most of these hands out. Like it shows F3 going into F4. I really feel like those are the same. Okay, no, I guess not. I see it now. I see it now. So it's got a little notch in there. So every time you want to put a lightsaber in there, beam saber in there, you're going to have to remove that entire front piece of his hand instead of sliding it in. I feel like they could have just worked a poly cap inside there so it would just slid in, but I mean they're the craftsmen. I'm just some dude. I got hair inside of that thing somehow. So then after you get that on there, then you can put his hand back together. And we can come over here. And they give us two different colored ones. Right now I'm going to use this one. But, you know, theoretically speaking, the clear one would be better one to paint over, I think. But we're going to use this colored one because then it's the proper color for what he'd be using, so. Oh, that is wicked loose. Oh my. Yeah, you would need to glue that shit in, man. That just wants to come right out of there. Alright, let me have your hand off, please. Okay, your hand doesn't want to come off. Alright, fine. We'll just leave it be then. We'll just leave it be. Set that over there. Anyways, we gotta do the connector parts. That's what all these G things are that we're missing. Yeah. Immediately upon me taking that out of there, what do I see? F34 and F33. Gotta give him his little support arm things. Okay, there's our Fs. I now need 13, G13. Just this G right here. Now these ones are such a thin spot, they're already fighting to come off of there. Okay, so you go in there like that. And you go on there like that. What's going on here? Why don't you wanna go to your home? The heck is going on here? Ooh, Jesus. Scared the crap out of me right there when that came off. Did that break off in there? Dang, I think that might have broken off in there. All because this thing didn't want a friggin' seat in its own hole. There's no reason for this thing to be acting up. Because this guy here in the center just doesn't want to... there. I'll have to use a little bit of glue in there to keep that nice and snug, though, because it snapped the peg off in there because the top one wouldn't go in its hole for some reason. Yeah. We were on such a good roll, too, you know? Everything was working right. Everything was going smooth. One part has to be a dingus. Okay, that guy goes there, and then we need a G112, which is right there. And I guess in the long run it really doesn't matter that much because it's getting held in by another part anyways, but it still makes me mad that it didn't go in there nice and easy like it should have. At the top we put a G11 in. I know those cheeseburgers are there. I'm craving them. But we're going to get it done because we're right there. Okay, G11 ball socket joint thing goes inside of this guy. Oops. Okay, well it goes into that side real easy. So somehow we just gotta get you to hold still while we push this guy into the other end of you. Ugh. There. Alright, so that's in there, that's in there. And this clips in. Like that. That peg goes there. This peg. Oh, I see. Our little hidden hatch here. Hides the connection joint for that guy. Oops. Goodness gracious, this is a nuisance. Get in there. I mean, you're close to holding on to it, buddy. Ba-boom. How to attach a Dober gun. Just swing it all up, it says, and plug it in. Yeah, that don't work so great, guy. Okay, well anyways, Dober gun is down and on. Let's get this shield thing attached so that we can go and have some food. What's 35? Why haven't we used that? Okay, anyways, F these guys. That sounded way more aggressive than it actually was. They just meant sprue F and then these two guys here. Well, it sounds like I was really mad at them. Alright, so we need those two guys there. We're going to need our G2 sprue for the rest of this stuff because we took all the ones from G. No, I know. I'm working on it. I'm getting there. Jeez. Going as fast as I can. Okay. This guy goes in there. Why are you being such a jerk? Let's try the other side. Maybe the other side will go nice. Okay, this time we want you to go nice and smoothly in here. This one doesn't have a... Oh, I need to do the G2. The 12? 12. Okay, so 12 goes down there. There we go. That one's in there now. Now we need the 11. The 11 pops into the top guy. Like so. Our shield Flex into the bottom guy, like so. Come over to him. Open up his hatch for gubbins. Shove that guy inside. And theoretically, that would just swing that way, and then we would grab it with that hand, in theory. But everything here is a little bit stiff. So, you know, there we go, though. That's all of him. He is all combined. Oops. Yeah, I guess I really didn't need that part at all, huh? Got a couple of different spare parts in this one. Let's set this stuff back in there. We'll go ahead and we'll set the beam saber just in there as is. But there we go. I mean, he's there. He's built. Dober and all, baby. Dober and all. I mean, granted, you know, he's not fully sealed together yet because we haven't sealed the edges there because we want to take it all apart so we can paint it. But he's there. He's assembled. So the next step would be to figure out what we're going to do for the color scheme. But that's it for now. Thanks anybody that tuned in. I'm going to go and get some food before it gets even colder than it already is. And I get yelled at again for taking so long. But thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch everybody next time. Let's see if I can get it to listen to me. To Volcane, send them home. No? Didn't want to? Okay. To Volcane, send them home. No? Oh man. It's so close to burgers, and now the listening command's just gonna fight me. Here, let's put you in here while we do the inevitable fighting with To Volcane, send them home. Still not going to? Am I going to have to do this manually, To Volcane? Is that how this is going to go? It's a cadence thing is where the problem starts coming up. Is you got to have the cadence or else it's unhappy. Oops, I just moved my camera all over the place somehow. Let's try it. Let's try it one more time. To Volcane, send them home. No, still not gonna do it, huh? Still gonna just leave me stranded like this, huh? Let's see how this is. So rude. So rude. Like, geez, man. You're leaving me abandoned here. I'll do it manually. Have a good weekend, everybody.